Former TNA Knockouts World Champion Masha Slamovich has been accused of domestic abuse. The former Knockouts champion has issued a statement, but the TNA wrestling star has been removed from the upcoming TNA Victory Road TNA Plus special. We'll let you know the details on that. Plus, we've got the ratings for Wednesday's edition of AEW Dynamite. All this and more in this news update. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. And let's begin with a massive story regarding former TNA Knockouts World Champion Masha Slamovich and some disturbing accusations made against her. Now, TNA star Masha Slamovich has been accused of domestic abuse after hundreds of WhatsApp messages between Slamovich and ex-partner Akira were released online, seemingly showing evidence of abuse. The messages were put online by a friend of Akira, real name Alexander Atkinson, with a public Dropbox link posted on X showing hundreds of screen grabs of messages between Akira and Slamovich, real name Anna Kozina. One of the many text message exchanges between Akira and Slamovich seemingly addresses the domestic violence allegations, with Akira writing, quote, "You hit me, you're wrong," with a reply from Slamovich's phone saying, quote, "You cursed at me, that's why you got hit," end quote. The messages paint a picture of a toxic relationship between the pair, with Slamovich routinely threatening to leave Akira over seemingly trivial matters, as well as seemingly displaying evidence of emotional abuse from Slamovich to Akira. A friend of Akira shared the messages and Dropbox file online, with other screen grabs seemingly showing message logs between Akira and a friend in which Akira confided in them about the abuse he allegedly suffered at Slamovich's hands. In a lengthy post on X, Akira confirmed the legitimacy of the messages and added that the relationship he had with Masha almost led to him taking his own life on multiple occasions. The messages, screen grabs, and images have not yet been independently verified. Now, in the wake of the messages being made public, West Coast Pro announced that they had removed Masha Slamovich from their upcoming How the West Was Won show, where she was scheduled to face Miko Alana, whilst Prestige Wrestling announced that Slamovich has been removed from their upcoming Roseland 12 show, where she was set to compete against Shayna Baszler. Slamovich has been a regular for both promotions for several years. Now, initially, in a statement to Sports Illustrated, TNA said the following on the allegations, quote, "We take any allegations like this very seriously and have begun an internal investigation." Now, in terms of a response from Slamovich herself, we do have a message from her. Taking to X, Slamovich posted the following statement saying, quote, "Up until the beginning of this year, I was in a toxic and mutually destructive relationship. We hurt each other deeply and in private moments failed to treat each other with the consideration and respect we both deserve. I take responsibility for my actions, and I am sorry, embarrassed, and ashamed of the role I played in our relationship and the way things turned out. In the time since, I have sought help to reflect on this time and deal with conflict in more mature, healthier, and sustainable ways. I apologize to those I let down, including my former partner. I hope he is able to heal. This will be my only statement on the matter. Masha." Now, in terms of, I guess, her future, just in general, in pro wrestling, a report from Fightful Select suggests that Slamovich had not confirmed whether she'd be re-signing with TNA or exiting the company at the end of her contract, with Slamovich reportedly booked to lose her upcoming rematch against TNA Knockouts World Champion Ash by Elegance at Victory Road. However, Slamovich seemingly has since been pulled from the upcoming TNA Plus event. We'll talk about that in just a second. There was speculation that WWE decided not to use Slamovich in the recent TNA invasion of NXT on September 23rd due to the abuse allegations. However, Fightful have stated that Slamovich's contract situation was seemingly the main factor into WWE not using her as part of the storyline, with Slamovich also not present in the country on September 23rd. Again, whether WWE seek to cut ties with Slamovich over the abuse allegations remains to be seen. Now, Fightful say they have confirmed that Masha Slamovich is not scheduled to compete on TNA Victory Road. She was originally scheduled to face Ash by Elegance in a TNA Knockouts World title match. Fightful was told earlier this week she wasn't scheduled to win that match and her contract is up soon. So if we get any more details on the fallout of this, of course, we'll let you know, but certainly a very distressing situation. Now let's talk about the ratings for Wednesday's edition of AEW Dynamite on TBS. Wednesday's all-out Fallout edition of AEW Dynamite averaged 638,000 viewers on TBS. That's down 4.4% from the previous week, but was the second highest audience for the show since August 13th. The show averaged an 0.14 rating in the 18-49 demographic, which is the same rating from the prior week, tying the best rating the show has done in that category since August 20th. It finished 6th on cable for the night, according to WrestleNomics. Now, in terms of the quarter-hour ratings, these come courtesy of WrestleNomics. Shout out to them and be sure to subscribe to their Patreon service. There was no major sports competition, while 3 of the major broadcast networks were airing premiere episodes of the new full season, including Survivor on CBS, traditionally one of TV's highest-rated shows. As compared to the same week in 2024, overall viewership was down 9.1%, while the 18-49 rating was down 39.1%. Of course, this year's numbers do not include those watching on HBO Max. Of course, the show was simulcast live on there as it is every single week. Now, before we move on to the next story, a reminder this video is brought to you in collaboration with all of our great affiliates, including NordVPN. Obviously, WrestlePalooza was last weekend. It aired on ESPN as part of WWE's new media rights deal. But a lot of people are saying they can't afford to watch it. They can't afford another new streaming service subscription. Well, what if you can watch all of your WWE programming as part of your Netflix subscription? That's what we can do over here in the UK. We get Raw, SmackDown, NXT, main roster PLEs, NXT PLEs. We can even watch Saturday Night's Main Event for free on YouTube, and you can too. All you've got to do is get a VPN. You can use our link there. You can scan the QR code in the sidebar, or you can click the link in the video description. We pinned in the comment section. And if you're in the US, you can get up to 77% off plus 3 months extra free. Then you can change your location to an international territory, like here in the UK, and you can watch all of the upcoming WWE PLEs as part of your Netflix subscription. If you do that, you'll be supporting the channel in the process. Your support is much appreciated. Speaking of which, WWE maybe wasn't too thrilled with ESPN after they gave their views on WrestlePalooza in a review on their website. WWE's internal reaction to ESPN's official grading for WrestlePalooza has now been revealed via a new report. Marking the debut WWE Premium Live event on ESPN's new direct-to-consumer streaming app, WrestlePalooza was a show that many fans had high expectations for, with marquee bouts such as John Cena vs. Brock Lesnar and AJ Lee's long-awaited WWE in-ring return after a 10-year absence, adding to the anticipation. For many, the event didn't live up to those expectations, however, with even ESPN giving the show an overall grade of C on their official website, stating that the show was, quote, average, aside from the, quote, excellent Women's World Championship match between Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer. According to WrestleVotes Radio, some people in WWE were, quote, stunned that ESPN's official site put out an article giving the show a C grade, with those within the company questioning why ESPN would want to generate a negative, quote, online stigma, end quote, towards the show, which the company considered a, quote, fairly standard WWE event. So the question is, do you think ESPN was right to put out their grade on their website, or should they work better with one of their new broadcast partners? Now, there's been so much conversation and speculation that maybe Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge, is going back to WWE and leaving AEW already. Now, this past weekend ended poorly for WWE Hall of Famer Adam Copeland, who was forced to watch FTR attack his wife, Beth Phoenix, after he and Christian Cage defeated them at AEW All Out. Although many assumed Copeland and Cage would challenge FTR to a rematch, the Rated R superstar revealed in a backstage segment on AEW Dynamite that he's taking time off to attend to his family after putting them in danger, stating that he's unsure if he'll ever come back. With Copeland's AEW contract set to expire next month, the segment immediately sparked rumours that he could be returning to WWE in time to face his longtime rival John Cena in the final stages of his retirement tour. However, a new report has dismissed all speculation about Copeland rejoining WWE. According to PW Insider, any rumours about Copeland returning to WWE with AEW's blessing to wrestle Cena are completely untrue. PW Insider noted that their email and social media accounts were flooded with questions about Copeland heading back to WWE after he was seemingly written off television, but they can confirm that his upcoming absence will likely be due to his acting commitments. Production for the next season of Disney Plus's Percy Jackson and the Olympian series is set to begin next month, with Copeland expected to reprise his role of Ares, the god of war. The former TNT champion appeared in the first 2 seasons of the show, and the upcoming filming schedule looks to be the most probable reason for his storyline exit from AEW. During the backstage segment, Cage supported Copeland's decision to take care of his family, stating that he no longer has one of his own. However, before leaving, Copeland shook hands with his longtime teammate, assuring him they'll always be a part of his family. Now, speaking of John Cena, we do know his next match as part of his retirement tour is going to be up against AJ Styles. John Cena and AJ Styles are set to clash one last time before either one retires at WWE Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia on Saturday, October 11th. Both Cena and Styles had been bemoaning the fact that WWE had no plans for them to wrestle, and WWE supposedly listened to the fan demand and made the match. According to the Wrestling Observer radio show, though, it was all a ruse. Quote, they did a little social media gimmick. Essentially, they pretended Cena wants this match, and AJ said he wants this match, and they got fans to say they want this match. And Paul Levesque said, I hear you fans, I'm going to give you this match, Dave Meltzer reported. So they used social media to do an angle. This match was always scheduled for Australia anyways. According to Meltzer, all of Cena and AJ's protests over not getting to wrestle each other were a way around the limited dates Cena has left on WWE TV and PLEs. The company engaged in reverse psychology, telling fans they wouldn't get a match, leading to fans to desire a match about which they otherwise might not have made much noise. Quote, they created demand for the match, Meltzer said. Now, John Cena has very limited time left on his retirement tour, with just the Crown Jewel match and select TV and PLE dates remaining. His final match would take place on December 13th in Washington, D.C., on an edition of Saturday Night's Main Event. As of right now, there is no word on his final opponent. His previous opponent was Brock Lesnar, and he's now advertised for WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas next year. WWE is using Brock Lesnar to promote and sell WrestleMania 42 tickets, potentially signaling they will be appearing at the show next year. Lesnar, who returned to WWE after 2 years on Night 2 of SummerSlam, is featured in the promotional poster alongside undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch, and former World Champions Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Rhea Ripley, and also Jade Cargill. WWE has begun to sell tickets for Mania, which will be held at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas on April 18th and 19th, returning to the venue for a second Mania in a row. Lesnar, of course, was not present at the Show of Shows earlier this year. Reports have revealed that ticket prices for the show start at around $850 and go up to $9,000, while they could go higher as we get closer to the event. Let's go over to TNA Impact last night. We're getting closer to Bound for Glory, and we're getting closer to the Hardys versus Team 3D one final time. It was official that the Hardys would be facing Team 3D at TNA's Bound for Glory pay-per-view on October 12th. The two teams met in the ring on the September 25th TNA Impact for a negotiation session. After speaking about their history together, the Hardys stated they are putting the TNA World Tag Team Championships on the line. Bully Ray expressed that was not enough and brought up Hardys versus Team 3D at the Royal Rumble 2000, where Matt and Jeff bested Bully and Devon in a tables match. Bully stated that it bothers him and Devon that the Hardys beat them in their match, so they want to run it back at Bound for Glory and have the stipulation be a tables match. Now, another situation for Bound for Glory was made a bit more clear as we got two qualifiers for the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Now, a qualifying battle royal took place on September 25th's TNA Impact to determine the last and number 1 spots in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet at TNA Bound for Glory. The final 3 in the battle royal were Mance Warder, Ryan Nemeth, and Li Ying Lee. Nemeth was eliminated by Lee, and then Lee was eliminated by Warner with a big boot off the apron. Warner has secured the number 20 spot in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, and Lee will enter at number 1. Tessa Blanchard is back in TNA Wrestling after her suspension. The September 25th edition of TNA Impact featured a singles match between Victoria Crawford and Jody Threat. As the bout was ongoing, Tessa Blanchard made her return to television. Threat, being focused on Blanchard, allowed Crawford to take advantage and hit her with a kick across the head to secure the victory. Blanchard had been suspended from TNA after she attacked interviewer/correspondent Gia Miller at Slammiversary. Before she returned, it was stated on commentary that her suspension being lifted was approved by Gia Miller. Going over to Ring of Honor, and Billy Starks has advanced in the ROH Women's Pure Title Tournament. Billy defeated Olympia in a first-round matchup. She'll face the winner of Yuka Sakazaki versus Serena Deeb in the next round. Queen Aminata is the only other name to advance in the tournament. She defeated Taya Valkyrie in the first round as well. A date for the finals has not yet been announced. Stephanie Vaquer, of course, she's the brand new Women's World Champion. She nearly missed WrestlePalooza because she was nearly pulled from the show. Stephanie Vaquer captured the WWE Women's World Championship at WWE WrestlePalooza. She defeated Io Sky in a critically acclaimed match. Now she's revealing that the match was almost cancelled because she wasn't cleared. She previously confirmed that she battled illness before the match, but during a vlog on WWE's Spanish-speaking YouTube channel, she reveals that WWE was ready to announce the match was called off because she wasn't cleared. She also revealed that she was tested extensively prior to being cleared for the match, and while her body was not 100%, she would always display 100% passion. She said, quote, "What happened was, unfortunately, I had not been feeling well for the past 2 weeks. I was sick, so I did not feel good physically, and on Sunday, the medical team told me not to participate on Raw on Monday. They spoke with the executives and I was removed from Raw. They also told me that if I could not make it to Raw, I would no longer be part of WrestlePalooza, which I completely understood, but I still felt healthy enough to wrestle, so I did everything possible. On Monday morning, I went to the doctor and by noon, I was cleared to compete. Around 12 p.m. and 2 p.m., I was already on the airport to head to Raw. Everything was very last minute, and they were even preparing to announce that I was not cleared for WrestlePalooza on Saturday. They ran every kind of test on me, and thankfully, I am cleared to compete. Maybe I am not in my absolute best condition after being sick for almost 3 weeks, but I have the clearance to compete. Everything happens for a reason, and everything worked out perfectly, so I could compete for the title at WrestlePalooza, but it was very difficult to recover my body in 5 days. Sometimes you don't always wrestle with your body, but with your heart, and I have that very present. My body may not be at 100%, but my heart always is at 100%. It's hard to fully heal in just 5 days, but as I mentioned, you always wrestle with your body. You don't always wrestle with your body, you wrestle with your heart. Of course, Stephanie Vaquer won the match with her father in attendance. AJ Styles is having his match against John Cena. It's the last time Cena and Styles are going to be facing off before maybe both retire. AJ Styles is in the middle of his 26th year as an in-ring performer. In past media appearances, he's spoken about the idea of retirement and feeling like he'd be wrapping up in the near future. Styles put a timeline on that as he was being interviewed by Tokyo Sports. WWE is returning to Japan in October and Styles is advertised for the shows. He stated that he plans on retiring within the next year. He said, quote, "I'm really excited. I think this will probably be my last match in Japan, so I'm really looking forward to it. I plan to retire soon, and I might not come back to Japan before that. I'll probably be at WrestleMania, but it's not confirmed yet. The details are still undecided, but I will definitely retire within the next year. I don't want to show my fans a side of me that isn't AJ Styles. That's the main reason. I've decided to retire before my body can no longer move." As for post-retirement plans, Styles said the following quotes, "I haven't decided yet, but I think I'll probably work for WWE. It might be good to help develop young talent into main roster caliber wrestlers, but I just don't know yet." New Japan Pro Wrestling president Hiroshi Tanahashi is also going to retire in 2026, and Styles said he definitely wants to share the ring with Tanahashi again, but is not sure it will happen. Quote, "Tana is truly a great wrestler. I don't think many have contributed as much to the industry as he has. I was truly honored to have wrestled him. I still want it 1000%, but given our respective positions, I don't know if it will happen. It may be difficult to fight him again, but I want to see his retirement match. Rather than thinking about who the opponent is, I feel that this position is something that has to be earned. We are both on the path to retirement, but this is truly a happy thing. In pro wrestling, your body getting wrecked is part of the deal. Just being able to have a retirement match is a huge blessing. And finally, of course, we know Jazmyn Nyx is no longer with WWE after she turned down a brand new contract. Now, Jazmyn Nyx is finishing up with NXT after a contract dispute that has her willing to walk away from NXT. Fightful Select say they spoke with a number of sources familiar with the situation, including agents, NXT staff, talent, and more, about the figures going around and what happened in relation to Nyx's deal. WWE sources did confirm to Fightful Select's Sean Ross Sapp that they wanted to retain her but were unwilling to budge from their offer. The claims from inside NXT was that Nyx was at around $75,000 on her deal, which is the same amount that was offered for a new multi-year deal. Fightful aren't told if that would have escalated over time. NXT talent can make significantly less than what they're recruited or first brought in on. However, there are some on the NXT roster that are making six figures and even above main roster minimums. The main roster base pay starts at $350,000, according to those that Fightful spoke with. When one person on Instagram commented that NXT wrestlers make $80 to $150K, Jazmyn noted that it wouldn't have been an issue if that was the case. One NXT talent said that Nyx likely ended up with less than $60,000 after taxes and still incurs the cost of gear and the like. Of course, if we get any more details on her future, we'll let you know in an upcoming video. But there you go, guys. The latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.